Pastor Taylor here, coming to you from Christ in Pewaukee today, but we also have campuses in Wauwatosa and Erin. And today is a special day, for it's Maundy Thursday, and I want you to see Jesus shadowed in the Old Testament Passover, for Jesus Christ is the Passover Lamb. In the Old Testament Passover, that first Passover, God directed his people to choose one lamb and take care of that lamb for 4 days. And I don't know about you, but every time I go to a pet store with my children, they want a pet, and they want to take care of it and love it. I wonder if that happened with the lamb in the households of God's people in Egypt. For 4 days, they took care of that lamb, maybe even grew to love that lamb. God directed also that that lamb be without blemish or defect, the choicest of lambs, an important lamb, for that lamb would be slaughtered. And that Hebrew word slaughter has the idea that it's slaughtered with a purpose, and Dad would slaughter it, gathering its blood. Actually, Mom probably did that. Every drop was precious, for that blood would be painted on the door frames of their home so that the Passover, the angel of death would pass over their home, not killing anyone inside. And they had to eat that Passover with haste because God would rescue them. Their eyes were on the promised land of heaven. Do you see Jesus all over this Passover as he was being celebrated, that Passover lamb? Because one day, God would sacrifice him. It was a special lamb to God the Father, a dear, dear lamb, slaughtered, yes, with a purpose, whose blood was precious, every drop not painted on the doorframe of a home, but on the posts of the cross. And now we eat the Lord's Supper today, not with haste, but yes, with our eyes toward the promised land of heaven. So on this Maundy Thursday, I hope and pray that you see Jesus better in the shadows of the Old Testament, anticipating the day when you will see him face to face. Exodus 12, beginning at verse 1. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron in Egypt, "This month is to be for you the first month of our year. Tell the whole community of Israel that on the 10th day of this month each man is to take a lamb for his family, one for each household. If a household is too small for a whole lamb, they must share one with their nearest neighbor, having taken into account the number of people there are. You are determined the amount of lamb needed in accordance with what each person will eat. The animals you choose must be year-old males without defect, and you may take them from the sheep or the goats. Take care of them until the 14th day of the month, when all the members of the community of Israel must slaughter them at twilight. Then they are to take some of the blood and put it on the sides and on the tops of the door frames of the houses where they eat the lambs. That same night they are to eat the meat roasted over the fire, along with bitter herbs and bread made without yeast. Do not eat the meat raw or boiled in water, but roasted over a fire with the head, legs, and internal organs. Do not leave any of it until morning. If some is left till morning, you must burn it. This is how you are to eat it, with your cloak tucked into your belt, your sandals on your feet, and your staff in your hand. Eat it with haste. It is the Lord's Passover. On that same night I will pass through Egypt and strike down every firstborn of both people and animals, and I will bring judgment on all the gods of Egypt. I am the Lord. The blood will be a sign for you on the houses where you are, and when I see the blood, I will pass over you. No destructive plague will touch you when I strike Egypt. This is a day you are to commemorate. For the generations to come, you shall celebrate it as a festival to the Lord, a lasting ordinance." The word of our Lord.